Good evening and welcome to the Buck Stops Here. I'm Vishnu Shom. This evening we are broadcasting from Raipur on a day when the CRPF laid wreaths on the caskets of 25 brave Jawans of the CRPF who were killed in a bloodbath in an encounter with Maoists in the South Bastar region yesterday. There are so many questions which are being asked. Just what went wrong? What could the CRPF have done differently? Well, we tried to unearth the truth, and we also got certain accounts that said that despite the bloodshed, despite the losses, the CRPF did put up quite a fight, but by then perhaps it was too late. Bullets strewn around, bloodstains on the ground. CRPF soldiers at the site where 25 of their colleagues were butchered in Sukma in Chhattisgarh. In Raipur, Home Minister Rajnath Singh is back, just a month after he honoured 12 Jawans last month. Today at the same place he honoured another 25 at this wreath-laying ceremony in Raipur. Now, many in the government and the CRPF would know that despite the rhetoric to the contrary, parts of South Bastar in Chhattisgarh may be spiralling out of control. Today the Home Minister said the government will fight back.
मैं मानता हूं कि वामपंथी उग्रवादियों के द्वारा किया गया यह कोल्ड ब्लडेड मर्डर है। इतना ही मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि हमारे सीआरपीएफ के बहादुर जवानों का यह बलिदान किसी भी सूरत में हम लोग व्यर्थ नहीं जाने देंगे। हमने इसे चुनौती के रूप में स्वीकार किया है। इसीलिए यह भी फैसला किया है कि हमारी जो एलडब्ल्यूई की स्ट्रेटजी है उसको हम पुनः रिव्यू करने जा रहे हैं। जरूरत होगी तो हम उसे रिवाइज भी करेंगे।
And Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh was absolutely clear. Development would continue come what may. The highway being constructed is meant to be a lifeline. It's meant to bring development to one of the least developed parts of India.
मैं मानता हूं कि सुकमा की लड़ाई इस नक्सली पूरे देश के आंदोलन की सबसे बड़ी लड़ाई है और इस पूरे मामले में हमने भी तय किया कि उस इलाके में एक्टिविटी और बढ़ाई जाए, वो चाहे निर्माण कार्य हो, चाहे वहाँ के ऑपरेशन हो, हम करेंगे और न केवल वहाँ पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाएंगे मजबूती के साथ, बल्कि आने वाले समय में और सफलतापूर्वक वहाँ पे ऑपरेशन चलाएंगे।
Details available to NDTV indicate that despite the bloodbath in Sukma when 25 Jawans, most of whom were sitting for lunch, were killed, the CRPF did manage to put up a fight. Almost 70 Jawans who were defending the area immediately responded, and the encounter went on for 3 hours. What's also clear, however, is that the Maoist attackers had been watching CRPF Jawans protect road construction workers every day for weeks. They knew the routing of the Jawans and laid out a carefully planned ambush.
Point is, they had fought very gallantly. The labours, there were 38 labours who were deployed by the contractor. They all saved. Engineer saved, contractor, machinery is saved, and 7 people who have come here as injured, they are also now saved.
Okay, this is important. So tell us a little bit more about this, that this was a fight which took place. We took a lot of hits, but we fought them back.
They not only saved the Jawans, 98 and above they were there, they not only saved their remaining 70 people, but saved 40 lives of those common men, the laborers who were working for the road, and they all were brought to the camp, nearby camp Burgapal. They were all saved, so they fought.
Mahendra Kumar was one of the lucky ones. A bullet went through the left-hand side of his neck. After surgery, he is recovering. He says he personally saw nearly 40 Maoist attackers, though there may have been more than 100 involved in the encounter.
महेंद्र जी, कल जब ये हमला हुआ, कितने वहाँ अटैकर्स थे?
100 से 200 अटैकर बता रहे हैं, लेकिन जो हमें दिखाई दिए 35 से 40।
जब ये हमला शुरू हुआ, आप लोगों ने भी काफ़ी फायरिंग की उस वहाँ?
ये सर मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया।
और कोई अंदाज़ा है कितने ये माओइस्ट लोग को आप लोगों ने अटैक किया, कितने को मारे आपने?
सर 3 पार्टी थी हमारी भी, रोड के लेफ्ट में, राइट में, और हम जो सेंटर में थे हमारी पार्टी में जितने लोग थे, जो हमने साथी ने फायर किया, उसमें 4 से 5 नक्सल इंजर्ड हुए हैं.
Police and paramilitary forces are quick to acknowledge the role of the Indian Air Force. Tasked to evacuate the injured 3 hours after the encounter began, IAF choppers landed in areas dominated by Maoists. The helicopters could have been attacked at any time. In all of this, the role of the Indian Air Force shouldn't be forgotten. They were in action at 3 p.m. when they moved into the area to extricate the bodies of those who'd been killed and the survivors. And later in the evening, when it was discovered that many more had perished, they moved in and they operated their helicopters by night. Extremely dangerous, since the helicopters could have been targeted by Maoists. For now, senior officers of the CRPF, including the Acting Director General, have been ordered to prepare a spot report to immediately secure the area where there has been such loss. Despite the rhetoric that we are winning the battle against Maoists in Chhattisgarh, the fact that we've seen so many attacks in Sukma and Chhattisgarh in a little bit more than a month indicates that something is going dreadfully wrong. Intelligence on the ground needs to be stepped up, more technology needs to be brought in, and the fighting ability of the men needs to be looked at very, very carefully indeed. With camera person Rizwan, Vishnu Shom for NDTV. Police and paramilitary forces in Chhattisgarh work very closely together to counter the left wing, the Maoist threat in this region. Earlier today, I spoke to the Director General of Naxal Operations in the Chhattisgarh Police to ask him about the specifics that were coming in on just what happened in the encounter yesterday. Here's what he said. Thank you, Mr. Avasti, very much for speaking to us. Firstly, sir, there's been some confusion. Were IEDs used in Sukma?
No IEDs were used in this operation.
Sir, were rocket launchers used? Because that's been mentioned as well.
There are a lot of media reports like 300 people, rocket launchers and all that. It's not true. Generally, normally what they use, the regular weapons which they normally use in an ambush, and probably fired 6 to 7 UBGL shells. That's all.
Okay, so under-barrel grenade launchers and grenades were used. Is it also true that this group of CRPF Jawans were breaking for lunch or something like that when they were attacked?
Actually, this party, this road, we are making this road since last 1.5 years. And continuously this party is going, and all the parties, not this stretch, but this stretch is 56 kilometers road. So we are making it, and there are several points. So this party was also going last 1 week. They were going for this one culvert was being made, and the road is about to complete in the next 4 months. This road, which was cut off for last 15 years due to Naxals, is the biggest challenge to the Maoism. And so we are making they were going every day. Probably they were lucky, Naxals were lucky yesterday. That's what I want to say this.
So basically their movement in that area was noticed. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
And hence that is why the attack took place, because the movement became a regular movement, the CRPF.
It was an obvious. Had it been an operation, there could have been any casualty. But since they are going to make the road, and if the road is being made, you know that it takes 6 to 7 days time at least making some half kilometer, 1 kilometer. So they were being targeted because of that.
And so where did these Maoists emerge from? What is the terrain over there? Is there a lot of foliage?
Actually, that the area from Dornapal to Jagargunda and Injaram to Bheji and Bheji Chintagufa, this like 4 or 5 police stations of Sukma, South Sukma, this is the core area, and you can say the Gad, this is the main area of military battalion, then battalion company number 1 and 2, and their platoons live there, and they have only done it.
And what are the numbers, the overall strength of Maoist forces in this area?
In Sukma, on a count, there are not more than 400 to 450 militarized cadre, and plus Jan militia, you can say 3 to 4,000. These are the villagers, they help.
And how easy or how difficult is it for police forces to get their own intelligence? Because the Maoists have eyes and ears everywhere. How do you counter that?
Problem is that there is a terrain and the villages are far-flung, trees and jungles and hillocks. Some positions are vantage points. They are living and moving with the villages. Generally, the Jan militia is hostile in that area towards the security forces. So whenever we move with a lot of cautions. Since the road work was a major challenge, it was being made, and You never know, and nobody knows it, that last 15 years it was cut off from the mainstream. For a ration to go to Jagargunda, it was taking 7 to 8 days time. So this road we have made it, and from Dornapal to Jagargunda, earthwork is completed. You can go in 1 hour by a jeep or by a vehicle. That's a major challenge. They were stopping everything.
So where did they emerge from? I mean, how did the attack actually take place?
That area, Sukma area, that I told you, in South Sukma, they are moving in jungles and locations. This is their core area. 1 platoon, 2 platoon, then company. So that is how they move. They are shifting. You can say this is a moving battalion. Okay. It is not stationed at one place. They are keep on coming, watching police and their location, then moving to some other location in nearby area.